So for anybody who wasn't here, we're going to talk about new coach training, what is going well, what we think sucks, what we could do different, and then the new emerald to diamond training that we want to launch in September. So there are no stupid ideas or stupid comments, or I just really want people's insight and input, and we'll try to keep this, to be done by 9 would be really, really fabulous so everybody can get some sleep. So let's chat. So normally the way we have done the new coach training, it's been a variety of ways. And the thing that we've done most recently, as Nicole and I have done, we created the 14-day kickstart. We kind of took what was the best from Coach Basics in the back office and put it into a 2-week time frame, and usually we put people in a group on Facebook. And we haven't been real religious about running it once a month, or I don't know. I just feel like something is falling flat, and I don't know what it is. Thoughts, reflections, honesty. What do you guys think? I feel like I know some coaches do just tell their coaches to figure it out on their own, basically, work your way through the back office online stuff on your own and check in with me. Some coaches do a monthly training online. I don't know what you guys like or what you think, or if you think it's going fine, or if you think we should run smaller groups more often, groups less often. Maybe it's fine. What are your thoughts? I'm rambling.
I guess, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I always have felt like they were so big that it was hard to keep track of people. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, with how many groups I'm running anyways, it was hard for me to even follow, and I would ignore those notifications because I don't know. I mean, it sounds terrible, but I would.
No.
And I don't know. I also feel like we just have heard so many times in calls that if people are going to do this, they're going to do this. And I don't know. I feel like they should have something, but and the information is really good, and I worry they miss it because it's so big and there's so many people and so many posts, and you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And maybe if we even made a document for each of those days, and we had a folder where they could go read them at their own pace. Does that make sense?
That's exactly what I was just thinking too. If we could somehow, like it says, day by day of what they can do, and just have it a little more organized, or somehow lay it out so that it can be videos and information. Because I feel like personally, when I got started, it was way too overwhelming because it's so much to try to take in and stay on top of that group and the other group. But being able to know that there's always, and then we go back to it how many other times to be able to take a look at that information. So if it was organized out in one specific spot, and that's where it's always being updated when we have new ideas or scripts or things like that, I think that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you guys. And I see Jen just posted here. Jen just wrote, it can be overwhelming when you get notifications from individual upline teams, new coach startups. Yes. I think that one thing I think, and this is, a criticism of me as much as anything, but we need to have a damn checklist, it's confusing even. And if multiple coaches are in there posting, leading on multiple days, I can't even keep track of what day is what. And I've done this training, so it's are we on day 5 or are we on day 3? Because people will post in the comments and it'll get bumped around. So if you don't have a checklist and some consistency as to how things are laid out in there, I get lost and confused. So I don't know if you guys agree with that. I think a checklist is a must, no matter how we choose to run it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to have it broken down day by day with a document. And I like videos because I feel like it helps you connect with your upline. But I think that there needs to be some sort of organized document with a checklist too. Don't you guys think?
Mm-hmm. And some people might not need all the information. Do you know what I mean? So if we had a spot and it said okay, here's what Emerald is. Okay, here's a folder on PV. Here's a folder on how challenge groups work. You can just go to the folder that you want the information on. I think, and Bridget, and we talked about this in Rhinelander, just having videos and information for each of the topics we have. Because then when you need something, you can just go get it. I don't know.
how would we, and I agree with you, how would we organize that so that it's laid out by day?
Well, so, I mean, I do this in my classroom all the time. That's the only reason it's like really making sense in my head. So like my units are like, I have like one folder and we could just label it like new coach training. And then within there, like a folder for each of the day topics. Does that make sense? Like a Shakeology folder. And in there you could have all the information we post plus links to YouTube videos. You know what I mean? And then you could have like what are the topics of all the other days, a folder for each of those. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christine Dwyer had that. It's similar concept on Google Drive, and she's got. I just opened it really quick to take a peek. She's got Start Here, and that's like your 7-day quick start. Some of the other basic stuff, and then she's got another folder where we could do Start Here, and then you could do day 1, day 2. You could have it just broken out by day. And then, like you said, they can move at their own pace. I don't know.
And then we can just add them to have access to that folder. How does that work on Google Drive?
Yeah, so you can set permissions. So, the 10 of us or however many there are could be editors of all the documents. And then, when we share the link with new coaches, you can set that so that they can just view it. Mm-hmm. But the reason that would be nice is if anything changes or if we want to modify it in the future, you don't have to like send out a whole new everything. You can just make changes right to the documents that are in there, and they'll update for everybody that looks at it in the future. I don't know. I use Google Documents for a lot of stuff, so I'm my default comfortable.
That's like my whole life is Google Docs.
Yeah, exactly.
When I first started, there was the Coach Training Academy. I don't even think that exists anymore. Did anybody else do that when they first started? It's like a series of super bad videos. Lame. But positives was Amanda said, go here, watch the videos, call me when you're done. I mean, she didn't hold my freaking hand, and I figured it out. And it's not like she wasn't available for me to ask questions. She was super available for me to ask questions. She didn't send me a letter. She didn't put me in a group. Like, she just said, go to this place, watch these videos, call me when you're done. Mm-hmm. That was it. And then she's like, now we're going to get you to Emerald. Call me when you're done. Basically, like, she really, I'm not saying like that's just Amanda's style. Like, she's just not going to hold your freaking hand because she doesn't. But I also just think that I did fine working through it on my own pace, and it was fine, So I think that there could be kind of a happy medium. Like, we send people the link to the Google Drive, and maybe we could have a group set up for, I'm just brainstorming, so feel free to disagree, but, for new coaches for that month, for them to ask questions or for us to check in. And, like once a week, we could be like, it's question time. I don't know. Or maybe we just send them a link. I don't know.
I kind of like having a group.
Yeah.
So that they feel, like they're not asking beginner questions on the big Team on the Run page, and maybe they, wouldn't feel comfortable asking it there, but in a smaller group, maybe it would be,
So like we could have like September, like September coaches, or, like, and just keep it open for, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. Thoughts on that?
I think that's awesome. And also because I feel like your Team on the Run page is so big, there's like 200 people, that might give them a little sense of community to get to know the people who are coming in. I feel like I really gravitated towards Ellen because we came in around the same time, like we were doing stuff. So that might be really nice bonding wise for them too.
Right. And they have access to the Google Drive and any other materials, questions, but we don't feel like it's an official training that they're working through together, right?
Yeah, we could have 14 days worth of training, but it might take them 30 or 45 or,
Or a week.
Right. True.
If they're go-getters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. That was my thoughts on the group were that they're same as Megan. I mean, it's too big. It's hard for me to, when I have like one coach in there, it's hard. to scan through all the comments if I wasn't the poster for the day and see if my one coach had questions and she didn't tag me, or, it just felt really big, and busy and hard to keep tabs on, I guess. I felt kind of guilty because I was kind of the same. I did the minimum.
I was the same way.
I think that's a good point too, on just how it's hard to scroll through and find it all, and that's where I think it would be really nice to have it organized out so that we can pop in and out, back and forth when we want to go back and remember how to do this, that, and the other thing. It's a lot easier way so that it can stay in order and organized.
I agree. And that way then, sorry.
Yeah, my coaches weren't even watching or paying attention to this stuff, so I actually took it and sent it to them privately.
Right.
Or put it on my page, because I was just like, I know they didn't read it. I know they're not paying attention. They're not even looking at it because it's too overwhelming. And then they just call me and be like, I don't get it. So I just did it privately on an individual, which I think helped.
I think if they had a doc, a link that you sent them like that, then that would be easier for you, because as your team grows, Jenny, you're not going to want to be sending everybody, you could just send them to one spot. They can track through it on their own time. And then if they're in a support group for the coaches that started that month together, they could ask questions in there and tag their upline. It'd be a lot easier to answer their question, I think, or tag their star diamond, or maybe that's, I don't know, ponder that, how we would work that. But I like it. I think that would be way, way better.
I think if you're putting them in a group like that, I think just making sure they know that they have to tag their coach that they're asking information from. You know what I mean? I mean, I will still see it and be in there, but just to make sure if they have a specific need from someone that they have to be tagging, just make it part of what they're doing.
The guidelines. I agree, Tracy. Mm-hmm. And, I think referring them back to that doc as much as possible, too, because I think it would alleviate some of the, I sound like a bitch when I say this, but some of the people who I have who have been in the training now like 2 different times and text me with questions that they should know. They are not following anything that's in there. They're like, how do I send someone a link to my website? Dude, look in the doc. I just want to be like, look in the doc. So I could do that, in a nice way. Right? Tell me I'm not alone.
No, I think it's a good idea. It kind of forces them to be more independent and kind of troubleshoot, because when I first started, I would email questions and I'm like, wait, I could just figure this out if I just troubleshooted and took the time to figure it out. So I think a lot of times they don't. Some of them are go-getters and they do it right away. Others just sit back and wait for you to feed them the information, because I have one that calls me 5 times a day and I'm just like, look it up. So I think that would make a difference. I'd have a place for her to go and say, you know what, go here and look.
Go here and look. If you still, agreed. Okay. I'm digging it. I think we got this. Now we just got to get started organizing the doc and adding our stuff in. Right?
I think Megan sounds really organized and really good with that. So, Megan, we should volunteer you to do it.
No problem. I'll put my TA on it.
Right. You've got nothing going on this semester.
No, but I do have TAs who work for me for credit. So.
Do you?
This can be their task. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, Megan, and I know you're back. I know you're starting back, but if you could either set it up or just walk me through.
It's so easy.
I can put the content in there. I don't mind that. I just don't know how to set it up with folders.
Yes, I can definitely. I'm back this whole week working with mentoring teachers, so I have nothing to do, actually. I just have to be there to answer their questions. So I can easily do it.
If you could just get it set up, because this Google Docs is definitely new since I left teaching, which is since I left high school, anyways. Yeah. So I don't know how to do the folders.
Huh?
Make a video on how to do it and Periscope it.
I'll make a video for sure.
I know how to do Google Docs. I just don't know if I know how to set up the folders and whatnot. Alyssa, you know how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So either Alyssa or Megan, one of you guys want to hop on that and just start getting it set up, and then we can start adding stuff?
Yeah.
You can kind of divide up the workload. And I don't mind doing a bunch of it. I just don't know how to start it.
And honestly, Jess, once you get it set up, I mean, it literally takes, I don't hand out anything in my classroom anymore. This is where all my handouts go. it takes like 2 seconds. Like once you're in there, it'll be a copy and paste job.
Okay.
So.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Let's move on to talking about our diamond training. And I'm going to pull that up in a Google Doc. See, maybe once I'm in there, you guys can just show me and I will be smart enough to figure it out. Hold on. So can I get a show of hands of who did the first diamond mine training? Was it just Alyssa and me? Okay. Hold on. Of course, my doc is.
I'm still in it too. I just checked.
Are you? I couldn't find it.
Well, the one that I did was last July.
Oh, I bet I was in one that was different.
Yeah. So mine was in July, and the group is still open. And it was just a video every day with an assignment. Was yours kind of like that, or was it different?
Yep. Nope, it was that way. Can you guys see my screen yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I see it, but I don't see anything. It's loading. It was a video with every day, and oh geez. See, I'm not totally Google Doc impaired. I do use it. I just have never like done a folder shit, attach stuff in it. I didn't even know you could do that. Look how slow I am. Megan's probably laughing at me.
Jess, I just made the folder for you.
Did you really? My word. Okay. So apparently this is being super slow because, okay, here's my diamond mine stuff. So the original diamond mine that Alyssa and I did was, this thing is being stupid. I'm sorry, guys. It's just slow. It was 4 weeks long. While it's thinking, I'll just tell you about it. It was 4 weeks long, and they broke down the weeks by topic. So like week 1 was, why is this thing being, I don't remember what week 1 was, but
social media.
Social media. And so every day, and I think it was 7 days a week, which I think is too much. Every day was a video topic, and there was an assignment that you had to do, okay? And the second week was systems, like that would be when Michelle Bachman did that, and you guys, a lot of you were on that call with Michelle Bachman, and she's amazingly organized. So she went through like stuff on, Google Docs and tracking contacts and using Buffer and that kind of thing, like systems. People who are super organized really dug that week. And then there was a week on the comp plan, and that is like people who want to know about ranks and, like how PV works, et cetera, et cetera. And then week 4 was on relationships. And so every day it was mostly videos. There was daily assignments, daily check-in. There was the leaders assigned a new success partner each week, which you can probably see them right down there. There was a 3-strike policy, which basically meant like if you don't post your shit and meet your assignment 3 times, like you're going to be asked to leave the group. So you couldn't just be in that group and sit around and do nothing, right? You had to be Emerald to apply, and I know that Nicole has created an application in like a Google form application, and there were certain criteria that you had to meet, and we talked about the 3-strike policy. So I know, for example, one of my coaches was invited to the Diamond Mine, and she's like, I don't have time for that right now. Like, it was just not a good time for her. She's like, I will be kicked out right away. So that was fine. She just chose not to apply at that point, so that's fine. Expectations were set, and they were high. Would you agree, Alyssa? Like, I was scared in that group that I was going to get kicked off.
Yeah.
Were you scared?
I was. My father-in-law actually passed away like a week into the training, and I remember messaging Amanda being like, I don't know if I can do the assignments and blah, blah, blah. Because I was like, I'm going to get kicked out because of the 3-strike policy. But it was serious. Like if you were in there, you were doing your assignments and you were doing them on the day they were posted.
Yeah.
Not, a week later catching up. It was like daily assignments.
Yeah, it's hardcore. And there was no live component. which I think would be something worth considering for this time, like a Zoom call at the end or at the beginning or once a week, which obviously I wouldn't expect all you guys to do that. Like I would do that, for the people who are in there. I don't know if I missed anything, Alyssa. That's pretty much how it was laid out.
Yeah. Yep.
And then I just brainstormed a bunch of potential training topics. I couldn't remember all that was in the Diamond Mind, and because I am not in there anymore, but there's, a lot of stuff there. So I guess basically I would just like to start, and I don't want to keep you guys late, but just kind of a brain dump, and I want you to be able to type in this document and stuff on your own time. But when do we want to start? Launch our Diamond Mind training, or we can call it whatever we want, Diamond Dash, or Diamond or Bust, or whatever you want to call it. When do we want to launch it? Because I think if we can have a start date and then reverse engineer it, that would be really helpful. Thoughts?
Did we already say it was going to be like mid-September or something?
We did. Uh-huh.
Am I dreaming that?
Nope,
Okay.
You're not dreaming it. Because I thought we wanted to wait until school had started, but not much longer.
Yep.
Especially anybody in here. Like I know Nicole and Bridget and I are all hoping for Elite, and they've got to qualify by November 26th as Diamonds. So mid-September is good.
Mm-hmm.
We won't have it done by the 7th.
No. That's 2 weeks away.
Yeah. This 14th, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Especially teachers who are going back. What do you think? Like Megan, I don't want to overwhelm you too much.
I mean, I don't know. It'll be what it is. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be at least the 14th or the 21st just because of getting in the application and information together
Yeah.
on the site and everything besides.
Agreed. 21st?
How long is it again?
I don't know. If they did it 4 weeks, we wouldn't have to.
Yeah. When do you have to qualify by?
November 26th. Start qualifying. To advance, all of you who are looking to rank advance by the new year, basically. It has to be by November 26th to be 6 weeks by January. Does that make sense?
Would it make sense to just say the 14th, and then if there's any stragglers or people that we can pop them in a couple of days late if need be,
Sure.
just to be able to get started sooner?
Sure.
I like it.
How many weeks do we want it to run? Do you think 4 weeks is too long?
Is it possible to put it into 3, or is that overwhelming, or? I guess those of you that have done it, what did you think? Or like, do we want to keep it 4 weeks, or?
It says 5 to 7 days, right, per week.
Yeah.
So if we did 4 weeks, we could do 5 days per week. But if we did 3 weeks, we could do,
6.
right. We could try to condense it a little bit. I think if you're going to go diamond, you need to be driven and focused and getting on the bus, right? So if we condense it, they should be able to get the in and do what needs to be done.
Right. I agree. Alyssa, did you think 4 weeks was too long? I thought it was bordering on too long, but it was also 7 days a week, a lot of days in there, and that I thought was a lot.
Yeah, I think mine might have even been 5 or 6 days a week. I'm pretty sure we had Sundays off. I don't remember feeling like it was too long. I mean, I guess the people who are in here are serious and are, you know.
Yeah. I guess I lean towards doing it 4 weeks because the regular coach training, new coach training is 2 weeks, but having it only being 5 or 6 days a week. What do you guys think? I don't know.
So will they have to do things like every day?
And like one assignment would be like posting 3 times to social media. You know, one time is, did you do this, Jess? One time is a question, one time is like a motivational graphic or quote or something, and then one other type of post. So it would be like an assignment like that.
And then you had to report like how many likes you got and what your response was, you know, that kind of thing. Sorry, I cut you off. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, yeah.
Or
I think one day there was a competition, like you were asking a question and, you know, you wanted to see who got the most responses or something to your question. So obviously you're trying really hard to ask a question that a lot of people would want to respond to.
Yeah. One day was she usually gave like a couple days to get this done, but to make a video about Shakeology and why you love it, like a good video. And then you had to post it for the group, and they gave pretty good feedback. Like, you know, like it was good. And that was a hard assignment for people. A lot of people had never really been in front of the camera before, never talking about why they loved their shake, you know, and not only like make it, but then figure out how to post it in YouTube and share it. And I mean, really and truly, a lot of people didn't know how to do that, but you had to have, it was in between like a certain time frame. Remember that, Alyssa? Like,
yeah, I think ours was making a video on why you love challenge groups or something. But yeah, I reshot mine like 3 times.
Yep.
And I sent it to whoever my success partner was for that week. And, you know, we gave each other feedback before we actually posted it live to the group.
Yep.
Yeah. There were a lot of like good exercises that were helpful. Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we should choose our topics or assignments before we determine how long it's going to be.
Let's rock and roll. Yep.
Yeah,
that
might help us.
I'm just going to change it because we don't want it 7 days a week. I'm just going to say that everybody needs a day off. So 5 or 6 days, and we'll decide kind of as we decide how long it is. So the week 1, they did social media systems, the comp plan, and relationships. We could change that up. We don't need to we could do whatever we want to do. Mostly videos. I think that some people are really visual learners, but other people need text as long as it's not too long. What are your thoughts on that, guys? Okay.
Yeah, I think a little, I run into the issue and I, you know, depending on how many people are working, like when we have videos posted in our group, I can't watch them until my lunch hour because I can't play a video in my office. So I think both is nice.
Yep. I agree.
But not a real wordy post.
No, when it's too long, I like start skimming and I can't handle it. Yeah. There's got to be some white space in there. Daily assignments. Yes. Right. Daily check-ins. Yes. Did you like, Alyssa, being assigned new success partners each week?
It was okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of neutral on that. It was fine. We picked each week. We had to switch up, and then you got a different one. You couldn't have the same person.
I was assigned, and that's how Jessica Vigeland and I started working together. And we just have always worked together since. But, you know, the funny thing is I was assigned to other people, and I've never spoken with them since. So, obviously, like, we clicked, though. So that's kind of cool.
I guess, you know, it's a good way to meet or, you know, get more acquainted with different people that you maybe wouldn't otherwise.
Okay. We'll keep it. 3 strikes, you're out. That's scary.
I like that, whether or not you enforce it. I mean, I think it gives it a level of, you're serious and
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Have to be Emerald to apply. Yes. I know Nicole has started an application. Anything that you think is essential to have in the application, guys? And I know it's 9, so I'll try to move fast. I think it looked a lot like the VIP application. I think we actually got the VIP application from the Diamond application and just kind of tweaked it. The one that we created with Nicole and I when we started working on this. Basically, like, what social media, like how engaged are you in the vital behaviors? What social media sites do you have? Facebook, Instagram, etc. What are your goals? Do you understand the requirements? Think that's fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, keep rocking. Good deal. Expectations, yes. No live component. I would be open to having a Zoom at least at some point in there.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on that? You guys wouldn't have to be on it unless you're in it, but.
Yeah, I think it'd be good.
Okay. All right. Potential training topics. This is where we'll just be quick. We can ask some things that might be better. Like some of this stuff might be like I would hope that people would already know this at this point. And some of this stuff might be like, they don't need to know this yet. This is for like when they're Star Diamond. And then I might have forgotten some stuff. So Facebook, I think that was mostly like talking about like do's and don'ts of Facebook, which I would hope people would know, but thoughts?
Well, the one thing I'm thinking of is some of these things are going to be covered or have been covered in the first coach training, correct?
Yep.
So this is more the next level. And
Yep.
once we have the other coach training, set up and organized, it's something that they can still be going back and referencing anyways.
Yes.
We could maybe skip it.
Mm-hmm. Or have it like a higher up level of Facebook, like Alyssa said, where we have a very prescribed things we want them to try posting and see what their response is, very prescribed times of days, etc. But we don't need to go through the ins and outs of Facebook. Like you said, Tracy, I like that.
Yeah, maybe really just focusing on your brand.
Yes. Okay.
When you're new, you don't really know what that is. So by now, hopefully they figure that out and they can just maybe think about how to implement that more and how to weave it in. Like have them go through a little exercise on, what are the hats that you wear, not just as coach, and make sure you're bringing those themes into your Facebook post so you can get more people to relate to.
Yep. Love it. Thank you, Bridget.
And again, I'm trying to think of some of our assignments in the one that Amanda ran. I think one of them one day was like literally your Facebook profile picture needs to be a picture of you. You need to be able to see your face, so like people, their assignment was to go and change their profile picture.
Yep.
One of them was the assignment where you asked a friend to go scroll through your timeline for the last week or two and see what it says about you. So kind of this, like what Bridget was saying, focusing on your brand.
And I did some of that and I adapted that from Diamond Mind to do it in the new coach training. But sadly, a lot of people forget about that after the first time they do it, So I think that you can't ever touch on that stuff too much. And to just take it to the next level, like you said, really focusing in on your brand. Let's talk about cover photos. Let's create a cover photo that reflects your brand, and that could be your assignment for the day. So make sure, look at your profile picture, because I see people who changed it for their new coach training, and some people never did. They never read it, never changed it, or they changed it, now have changed it back to a picture of their dog, So I love it. Good. Like pages, yes. There's yes. My like page sucks right now, so I think we should focus on that for at least today. Yes?
Yes.
Now, here's some things I wrote down, and I don't know if we feel like these are good for Diamond training or if these are like like Pinterest and Instagram, blogging and Twitter. Is that like the next level beyond this, or do people feel comfortable talking about this stuff?
I would not feel comfortable talking about Pinterest, Instagram, blogging.
I'm really getting into Instagram right now.
Are you? You're inspired by Melissa.
Yep.
Love it.
I could talk about that.
Okay, hold on.
Not that I'm like getting challengers off of it or anything, but I'm just kind of learning how to use it more and expand my little network.
Okay. Well, you know what? One thing we could do if we're not experts on it, and I'm just brain dumping, guys, okay? But like, I think we could have in the social media week a day where, you know, like Bridget, you could talk about Instagram, and you know what? I want you to find something beyond Facebook, because at this point, I hope that these people are pretty good at Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And something other than Facebook that's going to be your next thing to learn the hell out of and start learning it. And, you know, I want you to share, like, if maybe you found someone who's really good at Pinterest, like you found Pinfinity training or Instagram Impact, or, you know what I mean? Like, find an outside resource and talk about it here. Set up your account. You know, like, I don't know exactly what that looks like, but start getting them working towards conquering another form of social media, whatever it may be. Like, Melanie Mitro's huge thing is blogging. That's how she's top coach. She blogs, and she teaches her coaches how to blog. I don't know how the hell she does it, but I'd sure be interested to know, you know, so I don't know if that's making any sense, but find something else to be really good at. We don't have to be an expert in all of it. Facebook ads, it's a yes. YouTube, I say yes. Making videos, yes. Feel free to like cut me off and tell me to write something down, guys, because I feel like I'm just trying to keep us moving. I'm not trying to be rude. Vital behaviors in depth. Do we want them to
like the slight edge stuff? Like, I don't know. I thought the slight edge was so interesting, and I can't stop thinking about that. And that could be kind of the next step from the vital behaviors, you know? Does that make sense?
Could we weave that YouTube audio version in somehow?
I was just thinking the same thing, like, could we even have them read a very short personal development book, like Slight Edge, or, you know, weave in the audio somehow as something that they do throughout this. It's a month-long training.
Well, even, I feel like you could pull a chapter from it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's probably illegal, but pull a chapter and scan it and share it somehow or something if we had to. But those chapters, if you explain what the slight edge is, would make sense.
Right.
Well, he talks about 10 pages a day, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
I just think that book is so interesting.
I love it.
Yeah.
Could we have him read it or listen to it? I mean, 10 pages a day?
I think yes.
Yeah, because what's the book? It's like 270.
Yeah.
Or 200 and... Yeah, it's like just over 270 pages. 10 pages a day.
We all read it for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're serious, I feel like that book gets in your brain and will help to push you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Power Hour 1 and 2 in depth, yes. Especially with time blocking. And we could have some checklists and have them work their own checklist out.
And maybe even too, just thinking through, I know for me, like starting out, I got really overwhelmed, like seeing other people's like power hour lists and like feeling really confined. Like I had to do that list, and it didn't always work for me. But I feel like now 9 months later, I've figured out my own system. So maybe if we each shared like our little, you know, thing of what we do, so they see there's not one system, but there's, I don't know.
And they can create their own checklist.
Yeah, so that they can, maybe that's their assignment.
Yep. And same thing with the time blocking?
Yeah.
Yep. Personal development, obviously I was really excited about that because I talked about it twice. And guys, you can all go in and edit this doc after too. Get started right and onboarding their new coaches. Yeah, they should have like a welcome letter and all sorts of jazz like that, and that can be their assignment. And they can take what we did and make it fit their needs. But at this point, if they're looking to become Diamond, they should have their own team name, team page, welcome letter, etc. Don't you guys think?
Yep.
New coach training. Well, if we're kind of taking that over and doing it for them, right?
Maybe just like a day on like how to things you should give a new coach or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like, what should they know by the time you get them to the training? You know? Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
I liked in that call the other day with Megan Ewelton, I think it was, who talked about, the importance of Emerald and the different things that she went through on her new coach training. I think that's a good, that would be a good list to go off of some of those things, because I think that's really important for people to get a clue on Success Club and why you want to get to Emerald right away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Time allotment, I think that this is something that, and I've heard some people say 50-50 as you get to grow a bigger business. But I think as you guys can attest, as you start, because you're all leaders in here, as you start to take on more people on your team, then all of a sudden it's like your own business starts to, it's hard to balance sometimes. Like, how can I help my coaches but still help myself? And how much should I be holding their hand and how much should I be doing my own thing? And I think that was stuff that like Amanda talked about on the relationships part of the, I don't really remember when she talked about that. Figuring out who your avatar is, like what is your target market? Who are you trying to reach? If you don't know your brand, you don't know. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming.
I like that.
Apps for pics, cover photos, etc. Should they already know all that? Or could that be in the social media training? Or systems? Alyssa, what are your thoughts? You're really good at that stuff.
I don't know. I say keep it. I mean, I think, we might want to stress the importance of good photos, taking good photos and just posting things that people are going to want to stop when they're scrolling and look at. So we could even kind of talk, that can be one day, just talking about your pictures don't have to be staged, but like move the crap off the kitchen counter for a second while you're taking a picture of your dinner or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just
and we
little
can
things
have them.
that can, they can do a picture. They can. Mm-hmm.
Yep, like it. Because I feel like even if we know this stuff, like I could always grow and learn more. So running your own call, how and when and how. This is all kind of, we'll obviously have like a new, like getting your team on board a couple days. Buffer would be in systems, including your spouse and partner in the business. And Amanda did a really nice, I don't know if you remember that at all, Alyssa, did a really nice day on this because her partner is like super amazingly supportive in her business and does a lot to help her.
I think it was his video. I think he recorded the video.
It was freaking awesome.
It was good.
Yes. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. So not everybody is as lucky, but but we all wish we were. Team building and a culture, team participation, challenge groups. I'm just kind of winging through here really quick. engagement in groups, challenger to coach invites early in the group, goal setting, celebrating. Sprints, this is something Amanda talks a lot about. And Megan, I've noticed you're really good at this. Like, you got a goal and you're going to get it done in 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, and then you might take a little break, little time off, and then you're going to sprint again. I know Amanda always talks about seasons, like it's her season for recruiting or it's her season for, I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. This must have been, some of these notes were from the old Diamond Mind stuff I'd written down. Utilizing what's already there for you. Don't spend too much time in reinventing the wheel. Recruiting. Hitting Success Club. Tracking systems. Running reports. Cycle bonuses. Elite. Finding people in person. Delegating, hiring help, understanding Shakeology, owning your story. That's a lot of stuff, and obviously it's not very grouped. It's kind of bugging my brain right now that it's not grouped by topic very well. It was literally like I was just brainstorming, but we can regroup it and cut and paste and move things around. Or delete things that suck. What did I miss that we want to add? And then I will. And you guys can obviously get in there and type, but is there anything that we're not thinking of that we think is super important that people should be knowing or doing or understanding?
Maybe this would just go.
Go ahead, Megan.
No, go ahead.
I might have missed it if we talked about it. Is there anything where we talk about tips for, like if you're trying to help your coach reach Emerald, as you're trying to reach Diamond? I don't know. Tips for how to do that, or just even, I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going, but just that's probably a big one for people. Like, you can get coaches on board with you, but then helping your coaches grow as well.
I agree. Because I think that's something that's going to distinguish this training from other coach trainings is like we're talking about being a leader now. Mm-hmm. You have a team under you. It's not just you. You need to have like systems in place and a team culture and ways to recognize and reward your coaches and help your coaches. That's big. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole week in itself in with the relationships. I feel like there's a lot that goes on in there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. What else were you going to say, Megan?
Oh, maybe this goes under like cycle bonuses too, or I don't know, somewhere else, but like the whole like building your legs and how to organize that, or is that something you already said?
Building your legs and how to maximize earnings.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think, and rank advancements, just talking to them a little bit about, that rank isn't always connected to income, etc. Like there is a bit of a science to that, and really understanding what some of that means, which I think we're all still working on sometimes, but I agree. I'm thinking, what else do you guys feel like, those of you who are really close to Diamond, or those of you who have gotten a Diamond, like what are things that you still have questions on or wish that you had known? I think confidence for me. I spent a lot of time being embarrassed or unsure or not really knowing what I was thinking. I didn't know what I did even when I was Diamond. And I think that I've gotten over a lot of that, and it has served me well in this business. Like we could do something of a confidence training, like just, I don't know, for me personally.
I think for me personally, I think I would have rearranged my legs differently.
Oh, yeah.
I think I would have started building up once I signed on my husband. I should have. Yep. built him, and then so it's all discombobulated. So like I could have like in a couple weeks I could potentially have 2 emeralds on one leg where the other one is very weak.
Right.
So like I wish I would have done it differently, but I think at the time I just was doing it.
At the time, you didn't have anybody to help you, Sarah.
No, it's not that. But
no, it was that.
Like, yay, coach. And then 3 days later, I'd be like, oh, I should have moved them, but like I missed my window. So
Right.
maybe
Your coach also like your upline at the time when you started building a business wasn't exactly helping you.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, no, she was far from. Yeah.
Just saying, she wasn't really helping you like put people in places.
No, but I think maybe just knowing about that, like maybe knowing the timeline of being able to move people so that you can maximize who goes where and you can start building your legs. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
My legs are uneven right now.
Here, here.
Really strong and that's the only thing that's making me I'm struggling to get to that status because they're like, well, so
just sign on to coach, people.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh. Yep. Okay. All right. Anything else? Obviously this is a working document, so we can add things and move things around and delete things, but is there anything else that, like, off the top of your head, like, we must cover that?
No.
This is a lot.
I feel like almost like somehow impressing like that sense of urgency, like just do it. Like just do you want like just I don't know that like in June I literally just called people who were shake drinkers and I was like, I'm just gonna sign you up, okay? And they were like, oh sure, yeah, okay. That I mean, like I don't know. I just and some of them have dropped, but I talked to you about this a lot, Jess. Like I have since actually recruited people who I think eventually will work, but like just get over that fear and just do it. I don't know. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally called 4 different people and said, I'll do it for you. Give me your information. Can I just sign you up as a coach? And they did. I don't know. And it was that fear, that confidence. I was afraid. And I finally said, screw it. I don't know. They'll hate me if they want, I guess. I don't know.
Right? What's true? What's going to happen? They're going to say no? Or they're going to think you're weird? And you don't want them on your team anyways, if they're going to be rude. So. Yeah.
But that's how I'm like feeling like wanting to build up Matt's to a diamond. Like I'm kind of like, that's funny, the sprint thing. Like I'm like, all right, I just got to do, like you just have to build up that, I don't know, that momentum and just go.
Just do it. Yeah. I love it. I agree. Well, this is a lot of stuff. So as we scroll back up, what do you guys think? 4 weeks or 3 weeks? And how many days per week?
I think it's got to be 4.
I think so too.
Just because of how much we have.
5 or 6 days per week, guys.
If we can do it in 5, I think 5 would be good. But
I think so too. Give them the weekend off.
Yeah.
Especially if we give like video assignments and then they can work on their videos or whatnot over the weekend.
Yeah. I say 5 too.
Yep. 4 weeks, 5 days per week. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, we can have time just to answer questions or whatever. And maybe I'll figure out I'll host a Zoom or something on Saturday or Sunday or whatever. But, okay. So I think we should start. I'll talk to Nicole about the application. And then I say we start kind of moving some of these training topics around in the weeks and figuring out, sleep on it. And I'll figure out how we want to make the videos and what we want to do. But this is awesome. Thank you guys. I hope all this was helpful. And I know I kept you longer than I wanted to. So I appreciate it. I think this is gonna be huge. Like if we can get people, I think We have a lot of people who say they want to go diamond this fall. And if we can get them through this training and really give them the support and the excitement that they need, like that's going to help all of us. So it's exciting. Okay. I'm excited.
How do you see, I think obviously we'd all have a hand in putting the training together. Would we all be in the training each time we run it, or would we be in it if we have a downline coach in it?
What do you guys think? That's a really good question. When Amanda did it, the way she did it was there 4 of them that ran it, Alyssa?
I remember one of the weeks there was like a different coach each day posted a video. Like I remember Aubrey posted a video. I can't remember who else did.
And when she did it, with me, it was
Yeah.
the first time she'd run it. And so there was a coach that took each week. There was 4 different coaches in the group, I believe.
Okay.
But then after that, she started changing the way she ran it, and I didn't think it was as good. Like she just didn't feel as personal. So I don't know how we'd want to do it. I think less coaches running it is probably better. We don't want like 20 coaches running it, or it starts to lose that. I just think it starts to.
And not to put work on you, but for me, it was such a big deal because Amanda was running it. And so I feel like with you being the leader of this team, it would, I don't know. I mean, I think people would maybe listen to us, but like when it's coming from you, it's almost like more, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but.
Yeah, no, that makes
I'm not
sense.
saying you have to run it the whole time, but
Well,
I think, yeah.
I was really nervous about getting kicked out when Amanda ran, and I was already diamond when she ran it, but I think I was in there with Nicole, like to support her. She put me in there, and she's like, "You better lead by example." I was like, and I was afraid of getting kicked out because it was Amanda, and then like Michelle and like these other like big coaches, and I was really scared. So I was in there with Nicole to support her. So I don't know if we just want to sleep on that. Like I can run it. I don't know if it should be all me or if maybe Nicole should do. If she and I should switch off. I think people would be scared of her too. Or Meg, you're already diamond, so maybe you want to do some of the videos too. I don't know how we want to do it, but
I don't feel like I don't know. I mean, I will absolutely help. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't have a lot to offer.
You do too. I don't know how to make a Google Drive, so you're amazing.
I'll make Google Drives for you.
I think that if you're downline, and Bridget too, where are you, lady? I can't see you, so that's probably I can see Megan and Alyssa.
I'm
Bridget
here.
too. You're here. Okay. There you are. No, I
can be scary if you need me to be scary.
I love it. I would love you to be scary. Okay. So maybe since there are 4 of us who are diamond, maybe we split up the weeks. I don't know. But I definitely think that if your downline is in the group, you should be in there at least this first round with them just to like support them. What do you think about that, guys?
I think so.
Because like Alyssa, like Katie will be in there, and I think just for you to be in there,
Yeah.
as her sponsor coach.
Yeah, I think Nicole was in it with that when I did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Bridget,
when you say they're in there with you, supporting you? Does that mean they're following everything that's being posted and doing each activity? Also, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just, yay, you got this?
Yeah, because otherwise you have half the people in there that aren't commenting and participating. So yeah, I think if you're in there with your coach, you're doing the assignments too.
Yeah, Amanda had me do them, and I was scared about getting kicked out. It really did help grow my business, but it was one thing.
Yeah, I think it would help all of us. I think some of these assignments sound really cool. Like I want to do them just to.
Right, it did help me. And Bridget, no, I was not trying to ignore you, by the way, as a diamond. I just couldn't see you in this weird screen share. Sorry. It's like, no one cares about Bridget. I wasn't trying to imply that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So, okay. Yeah, I guess I feel like if your upline's in there, if your downline's in there, you should be in there at least the first time, and we can see how it goes. You don't have to like do the assignments every time. I don't know. My brain's tired. So we'll think on it, guys, and sleep on how we want to like divide up the posting and the videos. If we want to do the 4 diamonds, or if Megan, if you feel ready, if you just want 3 of us to do it, or how we want to do it. So,
I mean, I'll help. I just feel like I haven't been around as long as like you and Bridget, and I don't know, like Alyssa. I mean, you've been around a lot. You know, I don't know. I don't know what I'll help however I can.
Okay. Well, yeah, and Alyssa, you're diamond in my mind. That's your lifetime rank. Your life.
My one emerald had her baby a few weeks ago, so now I'm like, all right, time to start.
Start drinking your shake, yo.
Pushing out the baby beach body now.
Right. Okay. Well, then we've got 5 diamonds in here.
Oh no! Don't count me. I'm gonna take the training. I'm gonna apply.
You've already done it, girl. Okay.
Didn't work.
Yes, it did. You're so funny. Oh. Okay. Well, let's think on it because I can't think. My brain is tired. But we'll think on how we want to roll out the training as far as like who's gonna video and run the days and whatnot. But I'm happy to do as much as you guys want me to do. And like I said, I am also happy to pay my lady who helps me to do stuff if we want her to do anything for us, because we're all limited with time. So I would just need to know like what exactly to have her do. Like if we wanted her to create, I don't know, we've got the application, but I mean, she could create the application or cover photo or put our videos in YouTube or like whatever, for real, because we're busy. Sound good? All right. Speaking of busy, I will let you guys get to sleep because I kept you longer than I wanted to. But thank you so much for your help. And let's roll this out. It's going to be awesome. Okay?
Sounds
good.
All right. Good night, guys.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.